Okay, this is kind of a revision of multiplying and dividing exponents, but the questions we're going to do are from a Canadian textbook. We're going to do lots of them, so maybe it should make us stronger at these ideas of how to work out multiplying and dividing with exponents. Now let's look at this example. See this bracket and this minus 7 and this little 3. What does it mean? Well, it means minus 7 multiplied by minus 7 multiplied by minus 7. You know, when you put brackets next to each other, it means multiply. So when you see minus 3 cubed, it really means 3 minus 7s multiplied together. Exponents are about repeated multiplication. That's what it means. And so minus 7 to the 5th power means 5 copies of these things all multiplied together. You're looking at how many things are multiplied together. There's 8 minus 7s multiplied together. The base of the product is minus 7 and the exponent is 8. Now you don't need to look at all this and think about all this. There's a law. And all you have to do, if you have multiplied two things and you have the same base, you can write down the base and add the two little exponents on top, and you'll get the right answer every time. There is a thing you're not allowed to do. The base can't be 0. And m and n are any whole numbers we're talking about. So when we use these laws here, we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 0, right? The counting numbers, the natural numbers plus 0, whole numbers. Now for dividing, it's the same story here. If we see 8 to the 7th, what does it mean? It means 7 of these 8s all multiplied together. And 8 to the 4th power means 4 8s all multiplied together. Now, if we're dividing these two things, what happens is you've got an 8 here, but you're dividing by an 8 here. Oh, they started with this one. 8, you're multiplying by, but then you're dividing by this 8. Well, if you multiply by 8 and you divide by 8, it cancels. That's because 8 divided by 8 is 1. So those 8s kind of disappear, or they equal 1. Well, another pair of 8s cancel, and another pair of 8s, and another pair, all 4 of these. 8 to the 4th power, 8 to the 4th power, anything divided by itself is 1, and all you're left with is 8 times 8 times 8, that's 8 cubed. But there's a rule. There's a rule you can do, and it says if you divide powers and you've got the same base, all you have to do is write down the base and subtract those little numbers. And you do that usually when m is bigger than n. If you do it when n is smaller, you'll get a negative answer. It's actually right, but it's not so nice. You end up with negative exponents. But when you divide powers at the same base, you write down the base and you subtract the exponents. And a is any integer, but you can't use 0, and m and n are whole numbers. And there's the deal. We're going to do a whole bunch of questions from this lovely Canadian textbook. They have these words here. Check means you just do exactly what I told you in the video. But apply means you might have to think about it and apply it to a new situation. Apply is kind of important because a lot of test questions end up like that. So we're going to do 7 little sets of questions here. Okay, good luck with it. There's a memo coming after that too, so you can check everything.